Mr. President, a well-renowned international politics columnist representing Arab News newspaper, Faisal Abbas. Faisal, you have the floor, please.
أولاً نشكر لكم إتاحة هذه الفرصة.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, thank you for this opportunity to have a conversation on various subjects that are extremely important on the international scene. My question, as you are aware, is related to the fact that Saudi Arabia was invited to Brics and the foreign ministers to take part in the Kazan summit. Mr. President, as you are aware, Crown Prince was busy starting last October with addressing the Middle Eastern situation and addressing the two-state solution in Palestine. Moscow has always supported this two-state solution principle. At the Brics summit, there will be the UN Secretary General. What can we expect based on the results from the outcomes of this summit, and whether we can put an end to bloodshed in the Middle East, considering that there is complete consonance between all Brics members to ensure the two-state solution for the Palestinian issue? When you said the ceasefire, you meant the Gaza Strip. Is my understanding correct? Well, our stance here is well known. Hardly will I be able to add much. The baseline of our position was that we need to put into practice the UN Security Council resolution on building two states, Israel and the state of Palestine. It is the root cause of all problems. And I'm confident this will deserve our attention during the Brics summit. By the way, I invited the President of Palestine too, for him to take part in our events, and we'll be able to hear his position. Well, I had a lot of talks on this subject, both with the leadership of Israel and Saudi Arabia, and with the leadership of Palestine. In my opinion, it is impossible, and this is something that I clarify to our Israeli partners, it is impossible to address the Palestinian problem by building solely on economy. I mean, I know that the Israeli leadership, the current and the previous leadership, are of the opinion that it is just enough to satisfy some fundamental interests of the Palestinians living in these territories. And then the question will be over. In my opinion, in addition to just material concerns, there are aspects related to the spiritual domain, to history, to the aspirations of peoples living in certain territories. I think it is a much deeper idea and is more complex too. I think it deserves our efforts here. And secondly, we need to be based on a large and broad consensus. I do not intend to accuse the United States in every aspect here, but unfortunately, it was a wrong thing to do to disband the four. I mean, they are not to blame for everything, but the four countries was working, and as a format, it was working. They monopolized all the work, but eventually it failed. Unfortunately, maybe this quadrilateral format has to be restored. We need to discuss the restoration of the territories, the return of the people. The Palestinians will not leave. It is their territory. It is their land. Also, the more humanitarian problems we have, the more people there are who would be willing to uphold their interests. And the Israelis understand this too. And the position that I express now is something that many Israelis share as well. I have an opportunity to receive opinions in Israel. We're keeping in touch with Israel. We're keeping in touch with Palestine, naturally. Our stance is very much traditional, dating back to the Soviet Union era, which is, and I reiterate it, the main method to address the Palestinian issue is to create a full-fledged state of Palestine.